So this morning, I will give a presentation about China's outbound investment policies and experiences as requested by the sponsors of this seminar. My presentation will be divided into 4 sections. In the first part, I will give some facts and features about China's outbound investment. And in the second part, I will briefly introduce China's policy regarding outbound investment. And in the next section, I will talk about China's experiences in outbound investment. And lastly, I will talk about China's outbound investment in Latin America. Some facts and features of China's outbound investment. China is well known for its ability to attract foreign investment, but China is also fast becoming an important source for outbound investment. In 2006, China's total FDI outflow reached 21.2 billion US dollars, ranked 13th in the world in terms of FDI outflow. Only this morning, I received the latest statistics that in the first 6 months of this year, China's FDI outflow exceeded $26 billion. So that was much higher than the year 2006 as a whole. So if this trend continues, at the end of this year, China's FDI outflow may reach $50 billion. So easily making China one of the top 3 FDI investors in the world. And by the end of 2006, Chinese companies had established nearly 10,000 overseas subsidiaries in 172 countries and regions. The accumulated outbound FDI stock stood at 90.6 billion US dollars. This table shows the geographical distribution of China's outbound investment in 2006, including the financial sector. One feature of this table is that China's investment is very concentrated in 2 continents, one in Asia and one in Latin America. Together, these 2 continents took up 90% of China's investment, either by flow or by stock. You're probably curious, I'm sorry, because there's a lot of information to cover, so I'll have to go very fast. You're probably wondering where do all those Chinese investments go in Latin America? As you can see, in this table, I listed the top 10 destinations of China's investment. Actually, still it's very concentrated in 3 places, Hong Kong and Cayman Islands and British Virgin Islands. Hong Kong is a regional financial center in Asia and has very close trade and economic links with mainland China. So when Chinese companies looking to invest overseas, they normally chose Hong Kong as a first stepping stone. But they are also, the Chinese companies are also learning very fast from foreign multinationals to take advantage of the benefits provided by tax havens like Cayman Islands, British Virgin Islands. That's why you see so much investment go to those 2 places. And the other countries, the important destinations, can be roughly grouped into 2 types. One type is those in developed countries which have very close trading partners like the US, Australia, Singapore, or Germany, or Korea, because a lot of companies, Chinese companies, set up trading operations, representative offices in those countries, mostly in trade-related services to service their trading operations. And the other group is mostly resource-rich developing countries. And this table shows China's investment by industry. As you can see, mining took up 40% of China's investment in 2006. But if we group all the subsectors together, you can see actually the service industry received most of China's investment. Again, this is because a lot of Chinese companies invested overseas to service their trading operations. As you can see, a lot of investments went to trade-related services such as transport, finance, leasing, wholesale, distribution, etc. Manufacturing, China's investment in manufacturing so far is very small at the moment, but I believe there is a potential for future growth. And recently, the Ministry of Commerce in China did a survey on motivations for investing overseas. And as you can see in this table, the top reason for investing overseas is to increase market share. And the next three can be grouped together as learning or introducing foreign technology, acquiring information, acquiring foreign technology. So basically, acquiring technology and information, increasing market share, those two motives take up the 50% of respondents surveyed in this survey. And other reasons include diversifying operating risks, purchase local raw materials and export to China, to do local R&D, lowering cost, etc. So in this section, I will talk about China's policy regarding outbound investment. First, what is the go-out strategy? Well, at the beginning of the 21st century, with increasing openness to the outside world and the increasing competitiveness of Chinese companies, the Chinese government adopted a so-called go-out strategy to encourage Chinese companies to do business and to invest overseas. This will not only increase the allocation of resources, but also drive the export of our products, and ultimately it can cultivate our own multinational corporations with international competitiveness and world-class products. So that is the go-out strategy. It is a national strategy promoted by central government. However, because China has yet to fully liberalize its capital account and Chinese currency cannot be freely exchanged with foreign currency, so Chinese investment in other countries still needs to be approved by government. Normally, bigger investments needs to be approved by central government, and smaller investments needs to be approved by provincial governments. And if those investments are made by state-owned enterprises, which are supervised by central government, then they need to be approved by central government, and likewise for provincial government. The next topic is supporting policy for outbound investment. Let me add that Chinese government has, in recent years, simplified the procedure for approving outbound investment to make it simpler and faster. But still, the investment in other countries still need to be approved by government, which sometimes can be time-consuming. So to encourage outbound investment, the Chinese government has set up a series of policies to support Chinese companies. The first one is direct government subsidy. Government will provide a direct subsidy under certain conditions to small and medium enterprises, and to enterprises engaged in natural resource exploration, and to every foreign economic and trade zone approved by the Ministry of Commerce. Secondly, government will also provide co-investment from investment fund established by China Development Bank, which is a policy bank under the direct jurisdiction of central government. The China Development Bank has set up a number of investment funds to provide Chinese companies to invest overseas if they have insufficient capital. For example, China Africa Development Fund